Hello and welcome to the next episode of my channel where I'll be taking up the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. In the poem, we see that the poet was walking in the yellow wood. Yellow wood is a metaphor which means autumn season, forest undergoing autumn season. So the poet was walking in the forest which was undergoing autumn season when all of a sudden he sees the roads diverging. Now, the second line talks about the poet's mood. The poet was very regretful. He was sorry because he could not travel on both the roads. And because he was the only traveler on the road, he stood there and tried to see as far as possible in order to make a decision regarding which road to take. Now, line number 2 and line number 3, line number 4 begin with the same word. This poetic device is known as anaphora. The rhyme scheme would, stood, could, they sound same. Both and undergrowth sound the same. So the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, A, B. Next stanza. And then took the other just as fair. And then he had to make a decision. So he took the other road. Now we have to first understand both the roads. How did both the roads look like? One road was grassy, which means that it was not worn out, and the other road was worn out. Okay, so which road did he choose? He chose the grassy road. And why is it so? Because he was a risk taker. He was an adventurous man. Normally, people would have gone with the road which has been used more. That shows that that road is safe. But here, the poet decides to take the grassy road. Now, as we can see, wanted where is alliteration. Okay. But in the last two lines of the second stanza, the poet says that maybe, people who had walked on these roads had worn them equally, had used them equally, but now one of the road was grassy and the other road was worn out. The poetic devices in this stanza is wanted where is alliteration, fair where there is same, and claim and same sound the same. So the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, A, B again. Now, the third stanza. And both that morning equally lay. Now, that particular morning, in leaves no step had trodden black. Okay, so till now what do we see? The poet was walking in the yellow wood when all of a sudden he comes to a diversion and he sees both the roads as far as possible. Now one road was grassy and one road was worn out, but he takes the grassy road. The grassy road has a better claim on him. Okay, why? It tells us that the poet was adventurous. But that particular morning, both the roads were equally covered with leaves that had not turned black. Now, what does it mean? Now, when we walk on the leaves turn blackish. But that particular morning, the leaves had not turned black. So, what does it tell you? That he was the first person to walk on those roads that particular morning. And that is why both the roads looked same that morning, because both were equally covered with leaves. If we remove the leaves, then we can see that one road is grassy, one road is worn out. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. So he says that I'm leaving one road for another day, but he also says that he doubts if he'll ever come back to this point to take the other road, which is next to impossible. Once we take a decision, it cannot be reversed. Now the last stanza can be a little confusing. Okay, why? Because poet uses the word sigh. Sigh is the word which is used to show regret or sorrow. Okay, I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Ages and ages is repetition. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So the last stanza tells you that the poet will be saying this with utmost regret, that he is predicting that many years from now I will be saying this with a regret, that I took a road less traveled by, and because of that my life has been different from the others. Now you should ask, choosing the grassy road was his decision. He wanted to choose it. Then why is he predicting that he is going to regret it later on? Okay? Because the poet wants to point towards the human nature of dissatisfaction. Human beings are never satisfied with the decision they take or whatever they have, and they always want what others have. So the poem is trying to teach us that before you make a difficult decision, think about the options very carefully, and once you take a decision, live up to it. Okay, you have to prove that the decision is correct. Now you can see this line, two roads diverged in a wood, repeated in the poem twice. This poetic device is known as refrain. So I hope you have understood the poem. Do like the video. Thank you.